It's my phone. Good afternoon. Right now, I'm just clearing the air with sage before I get into the topic. I'm actually going to discuss multiple topics in this video. I'm going to move you guys back because y'all are way up in my face. There you go. Sorry, you guys are on a ring light right now. And my fan's on, so it keeps blowing out the sage. There you go. This is California white sage. Can you lock my door when you get out? Oh, this is Bluestone. This is actually one of my favorite new age bands. Better hurry up before you wind up coughing. My husband hates sage. His bloodline. His being doesn't like sage. I should tell you something. But, to topic. Go Falcons. I'm not a football person. This was Mike's and I took it because it's convenient, it's gloomy, it's raining here, and I don't need my hair getting all messed up. So, Kaya, sit here please. Alright, so, I wanted to talk about adjusting our flaws and learning to turn negatives into positive situations or aspects. It all depends on our mental state during the situation also. It has a lot to do with also keeping aware of our emotions during that situation and also learning to have that inner conversation with the conscious voice during the situation. If you are in tune with your higher self, most likely while you're going through complicated situations, your higher self is already giving you directions on how to handle it properly or telling you to calm down or, things like that. And we at the moment, at that time, since we're caught in our emotion, we tend to ignore what the soul's telling us to do, which leads to us having the situation prolonged or making it worse or things like that. Now, one trick I've learned about turning my negatives into positives or my flaws and adjusting them to a way where in a way my flaws help the world, not harm the world. That's one thing that we also have to keep always in check, is to make sure that our bad habits, our flaws, or anything like that is not actually putting a hold on the ascension process that we're supposed to be doing with our human species. And one thing I like to do when I'm upset is I start to close my eyes and automatically, how people sometimes count to 10 to calm down. That doesn't work for me. What works for me is seeing my one favorite happy place, which is really weird because physically I've never been to this place, but when I close my eyes, I can see it. It's like my place is an enchanted forest with this illuminating waterfall that's lit up, and there are horses, and it's deep in the woods. I have a feeling this is somewhere in the Celtic land, but it calms me down automatically. Breathing helps a lot too. When you're doing positive breathing, which is in through the nose, out through the mouth, and you close your eyes and you just forget for a moment what you're going through. Sometimes you have to put your brain on pause because your brain doesn't pause itself. It needs you to be the one to be like, okay, this is it. I need a clear mind. I need to pause this. It's super, super important to do. You always have to be connected to your brain and to your soul, which connects to your brain. It literally talks to you through the brain. The brain is the portal that enters the other dimensions into your vessel. Okay? It's like the middleman. And when you're dealing with situations, sometimes you have to pause what you're going through to try to see it as a third party view. Try to take yourself out of your body and view, not literally, mentally, view the situation like you're a witness to it and not involved in it. A lot of times that helps you get better solutions on how to not only get what you need to get, but also compromising where you meet the person halfway and they're also happy with the ending result. Okay? Because you got to remember, when we have situations, most of the time it's with other human beings, correct? And other human beings have the same vibrations we have when it comes to emotions, trying to survive in this third dimension, things like that. They're going through the same struggle we are. Okay? So sometimes we have to take that into consideration with the situation. So if somebody's coming at you for no reason, or you feel it's for no reason, you gotta try to put yourself in that mode where you're in your own informational bubble with your soul and be like, well, maybe this person's struggling with something. Maybe there's something deeper to it. And you're just right now the person they see, so they're taking it out on you. But it has nothing to personally do with you. A lot of times people act out things that have nothing to do with you. Okay? You're just in their view. It's kind of like how Tasmanian devils, for example, the actual animal, how they basically eat anything in their path. That's how people act when they're with their emotions. Okay? So say your husband's having a bad day and he comes home and he's yelling at you and he's starting a fight with you. Automatically don't think it's a personal thing. Automatically think, okay, I haven't seen you all day. You haven't talked to me all day. Now you come home starting shit. So put two and two together. Did you have a bad day at work? Did something happen? You know, things like that. And it helps you grow that empathy at the same time to be able to feel another person. Okay? Now, another way to change your flaws for positive is, let's say, I need a good example of a flaw that can be turned. Being expressive or open-minded. Sometimes it feels like it could be a curse. Sometimes it gets you in trouble. You know, things like that. You can use that as a way to turn it around and make it a positive. You can maybe help people who are having issues expressing themselves or having issues being their true self, or, you know, things like that. Things that you're naturally good at. Like, for example, me being myself, me not caring about people's opinions about me and all this shit, actually inspires people to want to be on that same frequency because they're the type to always be concerned what people think about them. Do people like me? Are they talking about me? Do they like what I'm wearing? Things like that. And a lot of times that life, it just seems like it's coursed. It's not custom. You're not customizing it because you're allowing other people to mold who you are. And in all reality, it's nothing of who you are. My internet is messing up. I'm sorry. It's raining here. And, I don't know. Do I have DirecTV? DirecTV sucks. Just letting you know. Okay? But back to what I was saying. Let me lower this. Sometimes we have to remember that the challenges or the bullshit, in all reality, it's there for a reason. It's created for a reason. You have to remember that everything that is happening in your life has something to do with the universe making it happen. Okay? So If you truly trust your cosmos, if you truly trust your universe, then you will know that no matter what happens, bad or good, it's for a bigger reason to help you, to ascend you, to grow you. All of that. No matter what it is. Sometimes people can't handle death of loved ones. The way I see death personally is it's a graduation of the soul. It's graduating into the next phase. We all have to go through it. I had never understood why people were afraid of death. Like, I get it. You don't want to leave your loved ones behind. You're concerned how they're going to be. All of this stuff. But in all reality, it's a beautiful thing. It's a transition. You're changing. You're molding. It's evolution. You're going into the next phase of things. And now you're able to learn what you truly are and basically have your magic back, have your power back. Because as humans, we don't have our magic or our power really. It's limited because it's only 3D dimension friendly. But when you pass on, your energy is back to its natural being, which means it has its natural vibration, it has its natural power, it has its natural creation, it has all of that back. Okay, so death is not really a bad thing. It's a blessing for those, especially those that are suffering. If you have somebody dying of an illness or anything like that, death is the best thing to happen to them because they're suffering on a daily basis and they don't want to be here no more and their emotions are numb and all of that. They're basically slowly becoming an empty vessel. So in a way, there's a positive to everything. And we just have to always be aware of our situations and the people that we have in our life to know that these are positives. You get what I'm saying? Sorry, I'm distracted. I have mad activity right now in my house. But everything has a positive. Everything, even no matter what your challenge is, no matter what level it's on, it's to strengthen you. It's to teach you. It's to make you realize, okay, you did something that's not soothing the soul. This is the chaos that comes with it. And you have to accept that. There's nothing else you can do. You can't mope about things you cannot change in your life. Okay? It's just the way it is. It's the way it's destined. Your universe is not a being that is creating things. It is reacting to what you're creating with your vibration and your thought process and your emotions. But not only that, it's also creating energy around you from other beings that are in your life, family, friends, spouses, all of this. You're basically like one piece of white lint on a black t-shirt. And that's all of us. We're all that way. You're that one piece of white lint and the black t-shirt is your universe. And every other little piece of fabric in that black is an energy. Okay? So, yeah, a lot of times we feel like Nemo in a freaking Shark Tank and we have to survive and we have to do this. That's the way it is, though. But at the same time, it's a blessing. Life is not supposed to feel like a curse. It's supposed to feel like a journey, an adventure. Things you're supposed to constantly learn from. You know what I mean? I write everything down. I own so many damn notebooks of spiritual crap. It's nuts. My visions, my dreams, chakras, everything. Because I feel like it's important to have this stuff to hand down to my children so that they're not manipulated by outside people teaching them the path. I want them to learn the cosmic path by me, their mother. So I always like to record everything. When I see 1111, 11, 22, 33, 44, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1144, 1122, I write that down. And then I look online, the spiritual meaning of 1144, and it would tell you the message that you need to marinate into your soul and live by. Okay, you can find a spiritual message for any number. It doesn't have to be a synchronized number. If you're constantly seeing the number 4, just a single 4, look it up. It has a meaning. If you're constantly seeing like the number 12 or the number 13, it's for a reason. Every single number, every single pattern, every single sound, every single color has a meaning or has something deeper to its existence. And our soul is trying to tell us to pay attention. We get signs, we get guidance, we get everything to us on a daily basis from energy, from our guides, from the cosmos themselves, from higher beings, from intelligent beings out there. We're constantly getting signals, okay? If we were an antenna, we would be overpowered with sparks of electricity because different things are always manipulating or in our energy field, okay? We have to be more aware and more open of the signs. If we're constantly seeing butterflies, it means transformation's coming. Either something in your life is going to change or you're going to change, okay? Something drastic. It also means transformation. You're shedding off the new and becoming an evolved being. You're one leveling up. You know what I mean? You're leveling up one. So animals mean things. Colors mean things. You know, everything. We have to always be aware of everything, even the negative, because the negative speaks to us too through energy. Okay? Like I said, sometimes people like to spaz out or things like that on you, and it has nothing to do with you. So sometimes you have to like be like, okay, what's the problem, love? What's the problem? Are you okay? What's going on? Because this is not how you usually are with me. And a lot of times they'll either open up or they'll wind up closing up more. And then you have to give them their space. And when they're ready, they will tell you what the real problem is. Okay? You have to learn to naturally be able to read people because we're all born psychic. We are. We're all born psychic. We're all born with intuition. And we're all born with a gut feeling. And that's how you read people. You have to constantly unpolish that natural gift given to your soul, given to, your physical body. We all have the pineal gland. It's in our brain. It's the size of a pinto bean. Okay? And we have to constantly keep it healthy. And we have to constantly learn to trust ourselves within because it's connecting to the soul. Okay? Seeing other beings, witnessing other beings, experiencing other beings comes from that little pinto bean. Okay? All of that is just heightening your senses, heightening your natural physical senses, as well as your spiritual senses. Like, you'll notice your smell will change, or you can hear things now, like a dog, or, your taste buds are changing. This is part of your ascension process. This is also part of your challenging process. You don't notice this, but when you go through your challenges and you want to give up, or you're close to giving up, your senses are heightened. Everything's heightened. You can hear, you can see better, you can smell better, your taste buds are better, your touch is more sensitive. When you touch things, you can feel it run through your veins, what you're touching. Like, we have to be more aware of that. And I promise you, if we actually go into situations with people or things or whatever with an open consciousness and with our senses heightened and things like that, we would be able to handle anything. In all reality, we would. And you got to remember, the harder your challenge is right now, the more the universe is forcing you to ascend. It's forcing you to wake up. It's telling you the time is now and you're cornered now. So I always say that. And I also always say and believe that the harder your life is, the bigger your purpose is on earth. Some people don't want to believe it, especially the ones that are going through it. But in all reality, that's what it is. What it is think of it like this. This is an analogy. And can be sort of a fact. Think of it as you wanting to be an archangel, right? In the heavenly realm. Do you think they're just going to hire you without training you? No. They're going to throw every chaotic thing possible at you to train you. Think of Spartan and the Titans and all of this. They weren't lecturing and baby talking you through war. They would just attack you with a sword and you had to defend yourself. You had to think of a way to fight back. You know what I mean? That's what your universe does to you. Okay? It's not going to baby step you through your challenges or your growth. It's just going to throw you in the fucking pool and you got to figure out how to swim. And that's how you build strength. That's how you build character. That's how you build experience. Okay? And that's how you also build your confidence. Because the more you go through shit and survive it, the more you're like, damn, I am a warrior. I've been through this, this, and this, and look at me. And you're stronger and you're more wise. You know what you want to deal with, what to avoid, what signs to pay attention to. So yeah, we do have a lot of flaws. A lot of these flaws maybe not be manageable. Narcissism, lying, scamming, thieving, cheating. Like I know a lot of people that are players. You know what I mean? They're cheaters. They don't know how to be committed. But if these women that they're cheating on would stop slashing their tires and, breaking their windshields and stuff and actually saw the root of the problem, why does this man do this to us women? Why does he hurt women? It's always something deeper, okay? Maybe he was raised with no mom, or, maybe his mom didn't show him how to be a real man, or, he was raised mostly in the street. A lot of men I know that are players and can't stay faithful got hurt by a woman. It was either their mother or their ex-wife or something. And now they become shut down, so they hurt other people. They don't want to feel hurt like they're the only ones hurt, so they hurt other people so that they feel like them. And that's more common than people realize. A lot of people are suffering or being punished in their relationship because their ex got hurt by a previous ex. I mean, their spouse got hurt by a previous ex, and you're the one dealing with the punishment, not the ex. It happens a lot. For example, if a girl gets cheated on and breaks up with her man, now she's dating another man. Now she's going to have trust issues with the man she's with now because she got cheated on by the last man. This is normal. This is 3D stuff. But like I said, if you are conscious and you're an observer and you're the type that can feel others and all of this stuff, you see the root of the problem. You're not actually moping about the actual problem, but you're understanding it and digging deeper. It's kind of like being a detective for the FBI and you're trying to understand the criminal's mentality, the criminal's mind. Yeah, he probably killed 25 people, but you're still looking for the root of his problem. How was he raised? Was he raised abused? Was he tortured as a kid? Things like that. There's always something that leads to the situation or leads to the person's behavior. Okay? And you gotta see it like, how they say treat people the way you want to be treated? That goes deeper than just behavior. Understand people the way you want to be understood. Everything always goes deeper. And we have to learn to sometimes take that paint off and see what the original color of the car is and not all the paint jobs it's been through. And a lot of situations come deep within. It's not what it is. So you have to always try and see both sides of the fence, to the good and the bad. Okay? I don't believe that there's such thing as, optimistic people or pessimistic people. I believe, for example, I'm a pessimist. I'm the type to always think of the worst case scenario and prepare for it. I don't think that makes me a negative person. It don't. It makes me a warrior. It makes me someone that knows this can possibly happen and I want to be prepared for it. Or I want to be able to handle it properly or things like that. So that whole optimistic, pessimist thing, I think we are both. All of us are both, especially the awakened. We are both. We know when to give people encouragement. We know when we're supposed to be freaking optimistic. We do. Okay? We know it and we use it when it's appropriate. Unless there's other emotions coming in the way and manipulating it. Like if we know we're being a pessimist, now we're dragging the pessimistic behavior and moping on it or obsessing over it. We're also manifesting it. We manifest our own shit. You gotta remember that as an ascended soul, as someone on the cosmic path that is open to universal things, all things universal, you're going to get the backlash and the blessings in all directions because you're open. You are fully open to accepting all that exists. Okay? So a lot of times it's not easy. It's never going to be easy. And it's not supposed to be easy. Only the strong can actually survive in this type of path. Okay? If you are the type to have so much fear about something, if you're scared to be alone and you obsess over it or things like that, you are going to create that. Okay? You are making your fear your main manifestation. And yeah, sometimes that could even be a blessing in a way too. How? You manifest your fear. That's the universe telling you to face it, defeat it. You do? It ain't your fear no more. You just basically solved one fear. Now you walk on to the next fear. That's growth. That happens on a daily basis. Ready or not, it's coming. Your universe is always going to throw shit at you if you're ready or you're not ready. Okay? And, what else? You always have to keep other people's emotions in mind. No matter how they're treating you. Like, I'm not saying you gotta be stepped on. Like, if they take things far, defend yourself. But I'm talking like, while they're talking, learn to listen sometimes and speak less. Learn to listen to what they're saying. Because a lot of times, like I said, they're exposing what the real problem is, but they're putting it in a way where it's attacking you. And you just gotta learn to read those subliminals. People always have subliminals to what they say. They do. There's always a subliminal vibration to what they say. A lot of times it'll vibrate that it's false. Sometimes it'll vibrate that it's true. Sometimes there's just a weird vibration in there where we gotta figure out why. And I'm gonna be honest, being able to read subliminals, being able to be fully aware of yourself and have that connection, direct connection to your Mother Earth and universe, it sometimes is very, very hard to have relationships. It's very, very hard to have a normal life because we're not meant to have a normal life. That's why I call us the chosen. Because if a regular person tried to live the life we live with the experiences we have, they would go nuts and they would buy themselves a straitjacket. Okay? So we are meant to do this. We are meant to be strong. We're meant to observe our species and help adjust them for better all the time, no matter how hard it gets. We always have to point them in the right direction. I don't understand how our species destroys our own species. Our species set our own species up for failure. Like, I'm gonna be honest, when I was a kid and people used to ask for directions, I give them the wrong direction on purpose. Like, you shouldn't trust strangers. That's the way I was thinking when I was a kid before I woke up. You know what I mean? And now in my head, I'm like, why? Why do we make our species have a harder life than they need? We make shit so complicated for our own people. Like, it don't make sense. We kill our own people, we rob our own people, we rape our own people. They're the same species as you. It doesn't make no sense at all, the things that we do to each other. And when people are acting a certain way to you, that's when your 5D is going to click on like a light switch and be like, okay, just stay quiet, observe, listen to what they're saying. Then you speak. Like, your soul will always try to take you out of situations. You just have to learn to put the emotion aside and let the soul do what it does best. And that's handle this 3D experience bullshit we gotta go through. Okay? You can always turn your flaws into a positive. You can always turn your circumstances to a positive. If you are struggling and don't know how to get out of this lifestyle or this rat race or whatever it is, inspire other people to do it. That's all you can do, is inspire other people to gain the strength to get out of their situations or be themselves or express themselves or help people who are struggling. Because no matter what you think, no matter what your situation, you're never alone. There's another human being somewhere in the world going through the same shit you are. Okay? They say everybody in the world has a twin somewhere. That's not only physically. Okay? And I don't mean twin flame. I mean someone who looks exactly like you, We have one somewhere in the world, okay? And I'm gonna be honest, that's not only physical, that's also circumstantial. You're not alone when you're going through your dramas. There's other people going through the same drama. And you gotta remember that. You gotta remember that. And also what helps is also remembering that no matter how hard your challenge is, it could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse. If it's a loved one that passed away, your whole family could get wiped out by a terrorist attack or a car accident or something. It's always could be worse. And I know some people, they hate when they hear that. Oh, it could be worse. Well, it's worse right now. No, it's not. It's bad right now, but not worse. And you got to remember that. Shit passes. Everything passes. Bad challenges pass. Good challenges pass. Blessings pass. You'll get it. You'll enjoy it. And the next thing you know, it's just a routine in your life. It's not special anymore. This is the way you grow on a natural daily basis. We never liked the same things we like as a kid. When I was a teen, I liked MD 2020. Now I can't stand it. It tastes like diabetes in a bottle. So you're always growing. Next year, you might have a different favorite color. Maybe a different favorite food. And you got to observe this stuff and remind yourself, holy crap, I am growing every day. I'm evolving. And you got to help other people do that too. Because a lot of our species is stuck. They don't know where to go, who to rely on, nothing, because the world is so chaotic that now everybody has trust issues with their own species. And it's sad that we have to live that way. But be that blessing in somebody else's life. If you're feeling down, go do something for someone else. Distract your mind, you know? If you're going through bullshit or you're fighting with a man or something, go help a friend move her furniture or, polish her dishes. I don't know who does that, but it's an example. To distract your situation, and you can actually help another being. And that's how empathy grows as well. When you learn to put your stuff aside for the moment because you know you're too emotional on it, so you push it aside and help somebody else. Distract your mind from your situation to help somebody with their situation. And then you'll realize when you come back to your situation, you're calm about it and you can actually handle it like an adult, like an ascended soul, like the being that you are, okay? So, yeah, maybe sometimes our situations are not meant to be handled right away. Sometimes we need a distraction, a release, something, a walk, whatever it is, to calm down, think about the situation, think about different solutions for the situation, and see which one calls out to you the most. And then if that's the solution that is actually your soul keeps repeating, then you can go back to the problem and try that solution. And if that solution don't work, you still got plan B, plan C, plan D. It's always good to have plan A, plan B, and plan C. I always say everybody should have 3 plans. In your future, in your way of gaining money, in your way of gaining love. If it's love that you're trying to find 3 flaws that you want to change. Or find 3 things you want to better in your life. It helps. It does. It's called balancing out those vibrations, those ripples that your body literally releases into your universe. Okay? And I promise you, like, a lot of things will be handled simply. Most situations between 2 people tend to be a misunderstanding. So if y'all actually were to talk about things like adults and be like, well, this is the way I meant it, but I know I sounded this way. It's just I have also this on my mind. It makes somebody understand you more, and then they don't feel so disrespected by the way you said things. It's all about communicating. If you don't understand what somebody means by what they say, just nicely ask them, what did you mean by that? Because it can be taken multiple ways. And they'll explain it. And trust me, a lot of things will be handled. Because a lot of things are a misunderstanding. If y'all learn to communicate, communication with this species is super, super important. And a lot of our species lacks it. If we actually knew how to communicate properly, we would actually solve a lot of our problems as a human race. In all reality. So you can turn negatives into positives. Positives can turn into negatives. It all depends on what you choose to deal with in your life. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, I didn't choose this life. This is not what I chose. This is bullshit. It's all a lie. Well, guess what? You thinking that way is continuing to give you the bullshit life. You should be like, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm going to try and start doing something different. Because you keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep getting the same result. If you don't adjust or change or mold or move something in your life, you're not going to get a different result. No matter what it is. You know what I mean? My third eye's itchy. I feel like there's validation. So you have to, it's like poker, you know what I mean? Or like a card game where you adjust your cards or you switch cards that you think are bad. Life is like a game. And we have to learn to try and master it. Learn to master life and teach others to master their life as well. That's why I always say the laws of attraction are the first step to everything. If you master or learn the laws of attraction, you get yourself so far in your consciousness already, because now you start questioning things like, is there really a God? Does he really judge? Does he do this? Does he do that? And then you add common sense, and then you start doing your own research, and voila. You're already slowly freeing your spirit from the design modern slavery we're dealing with. And you want to try to change and adjust the world in a big way. Most people that are awakened feel like the job they have on earth is almost impossible or it's overwhelming. Okay? They either have to shift the consciousness of the human species, they have to help children in a way so that they can mold healthy adults, they have to heal broken souls, or energy work like Reiki. They have to, it's nonstop going. This is like, you think that lawyers and doctors and cops and firefighters and EMTs work all night to save us. They do on the physical plane. Our job is more of the soul work, which is a lot harder. It's very hard to do because there's people out here that don't even believe in souls. They just believe they're created by a God to follow the instructions in a book and then die. And then they get judged. I'm not one that wants to live that way. That sounds like a twisted pattern. That sounds like it's limited. It's limited. And I'm one to always wonder. I'm a wondrous soul that always wants to see what else is out there. Like right now, I am up to 14 dimensions with my abilities, and I know there's more out there. And I'm slowly trying to reach out to those. But at the same time, I have to keep that balance of 3D and 5D because I'm a mom. You know what I mean? I run a business. I do readings. I do counseling. I'm also a minister. I marry people. Like, I'm trying to do a multi-thing, and my plate's always full. Like I'm literally at a spiritual buffet. Okay? So if I can do all of this stuff and still be able to empower you guys to keep going, you can do it. If I could do it, you could do it. Okay? And in the 3D plane, I'm considered a nobody. A housewife who depends on her husband, who just raises kids, stays home all day. Like, that's how society sees me. But if they knew actually what my mission is on earth, they would feel differently. But not everybody's meant to know what your mission is on earth because not everybody believes in it. Not everybody believes in purpose. And I feel, in my opinion, that's a sad way to live, that you feel you don't have a purpose here. You're just living. I wouldn't want to live that way. That's a slave consciousness. That's putting your soul in chains and locking it away when there's no need to torture yourself like that. Okay? You have basically 3 energies right now. And a lot of people don't realize that. In all reality, the deeper picture of things is we have split personality more than people imagine. Okay? We do. We have our physical vessel that gets tempted by physical things like cigarettes, gambling, drinking, partying, whatever. That's our physical being. Then we have our soul, which is a 5D that is trying to guide us to survive in this 3D. Okay? And then you have the child in you. there's a child energy in there. The traumas, whatever it is that you went through as a child, that child's soul is still there too. The one that's trying to help you survive your situations, your main higher self, that's not a child. That's the God and goddess within you, okay? But we all have an inner child too. So in a way, we all have split personality in this 3D dimension. We do. Because we have a child that wants to be nurtured, loved, have affection. We like to have fun. Things like that. That's our child. And a lot of times the broken child creates the broken physical adult, which can stray us from our soul, our higher self. So maybe we need to start off with healing our inner child so that we can be functional adults and then ascend to the higher self. Everything goes in an order. There is no shortcuts to this path. There is no shortcuts to ascension, to growth, to abilities. Everything is hardcore, okay? Do you know how many times I wanted to sign myself into a hospital because of my abilities? Many times. But I didn't. That's part of it. If you feel like you're going crazy and you should sign yourself in a hospital, you're on the right track of things. That's how I see it. You are. Because I feel like every person I know that is on my frequency or close to my frequency has been through it. Has been through it multiple times. It's part of the territory of what we are. It's part of our job. We're not supposed to get our mission, and it's not going to be easy. Our mission's not like, clean a horse stable and, you go to heaven or you ascend to master level. No. It's something that sounds like it's impossible to do in one lifetime. All of our missions are hard to do in one lifetime. I have multiple missions, and I am literally, for those that know what I am, I'm literally banned from heaven. Like, I'm banned from it. I can't tap into it. Like, I can still work with the archangels, but any kind of secret messages or secret communication, it's not happening. And the reason for that is because I have shit to do on this earth that I'm not doing. So you actually do get spiritually punished. There is a such thing as a council of 12 in the light, a council of 12 in the dark, and in the astral realm, they have people or beings that make sure that things are running the way they're supposed to run. Okay? And you can get spiritually punished by these councils. Don't believe me? Look it up. You can. And the way they do it is they put you in spiritual jail. You can't astral no more, or sometimes some of your abilities go away for a while, and you're like, oh my God, I can't feel nothing. What's going on? I can't see. Like, it freaks you out, but that's your punishment. Your universe is your parent. And your parent doesn't just show you affection and love and blessings. It shows you brutality, survival, and just throws you into things. You gotta put your own armor on and fight the beast. It's like being in the Colosseum in Rome. You just get thrown in there and you don't even know what the hell you're playing with. And it's a big ass mutated lion or some shit. And you just gotta fight. You can't just stand there and let it shred you in pieces. That's what this 3D plane is. It's a big lion trying to shred you in pieces. And you have to unleash that warrior to survive. That's all it is. Really. It's ridiculous. But it's what makes us who we are. And even if we're not appreciated, or I'm not going to even say the word worshipped because that's a wrong term, but appreciated, unconditionally loved, respected. If we're not being those in this life, you got to remember that it's because you're a higher being. You got to remember that the people we use as inspiration to walk the footsteps of have been through the same thing. Okay? They have. Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Jesus, the disciples, they've all been through crazy shit when they roamed Earth. They went through torture. They went through assassination. They went through judgment and ridicule and laughed at. But they stuck to their guns, and they were who they were, and they spoke what they spoke, and they literally died for their belief, which made them respected years later in history books and all of this. We have to continue to be who we are, even if people try to change us. And if people try to change you, they're not good enough to be in your life to begin with. There's a difference between trying to change someone for who they are and helping them adjust to their potential. There's a way to do things. There's a way to say things. There's a way to act on things. And we have to remember that emotions plays a big role in how we handle a lot of things. If we can learn to handle our emotions, take a moment, step back, get those emotions controlled, we handle shit much better. We handle shit like a boss because there's no emotion involved and it's all logic and common sense thinking. So every positive has a negative and every negative has a positive. It's in science. Your battery has both. It's science. It's facts. Everything. It's up to your conscious, your emotions, and your way of thinking to decide which situation and how you want it to end up. I'm gonna be honest, sometimes I have issues with that, but I'm human. I have emotions. I'm a female. That makes it even worse because we're highly emotional. So we need even longer to calm down than a man does. You know, you men already have that logic thinking. And the emotions is there, but it's not as strong as the woman. So a lot of times we need more time to calm it. We really do. Before we start thinking, well, in a way he had a point. And all of this, and then you start coming up with the solutions better because you're more clear-minded. Emotions can fog your brain. I'm not saying they're a bad thing, they're not. But there's a time and a place for them, and one of our growth assignments is to learn to control the emotions and realizing which emotions are illusion, which emotions aren't. Why do we feel this way? Dig deeper into everything. That's what I'm trying to say, because every tree has roots. Every situation has a start button, a trigger. And we have to remember that. Not just within ourselves, but with other people as well. Okay? And we have to have more empathy for our species. No matter how sick, twisted they are doing things, you know, we have a lot of crazy things happening in this world right now. Syria is being wiped out by our government for, I think it's Iran or Iraq or Islam. There you go. You know, they're literally wiping out Syria for Islam, our country. And, you know, all of this shit. Sadistic things. We have meat farms, like meat factories. Sadistic things. Like CPS and human trafficking. Sadistic things. And it's our own species. Doing it to our own species. Like, it blows my mind how people don't have that limit in their mind to think that far ahead. It's crazy. But that's when our job comes in. That's when we do what we're supposed to do. Into reminding them the simple things that we used to remember as a kid. Kids know it's not a good thing to kill an animal and rip its neck off and skin it alive and all of that. Kids know it's not okay to kill people you love or kill people in general. Kids, you can learn from kids because you were one. You have the same beliefs as them. They are to remind you of what's important in the world. Not the shit or the illusion that's constantly being faced at you like this. In your face. Here, buy a car. Here, credit is important. Here, taxes are good for you. Here, vote. Here, vaccines. Kids don't know none of that shit. You know why? Because they're not meant to. In all reality, you're not naturally meant to know all of that stuff. It's not supposed to exist. So, yeah, the more generations are born, the worse the world's getting, the more we have to make them grow up faster. But we can stop that. We can stop that. We have to continue and not give up on this. It's hard. But anything worth it, it ain't going to come easy. And you got to remember that. And the best blessings come with patience. Your big blessings need time to be made. So, try to heal that inner child in you first if you are a negative person. If you're the type to have narcissistic traits like the world revolves around you or, you know, things like that. Admit it. First off, you need to recognize it and admit it. Don't be in denial of your flaws, because all you're doing is enabling them and feeding them to be stronger. Recognize them, admit to them, and then find ways to adjust or change to them. You know what I mean? We always have to become a better person every single day. That is our job. As chosen souls, we are supposed to be better people every day to help other people or inspire other people to be better every day. Uniting, coexisting, helping one another out, respecting the earth we live on, realizing trees are alive. Like, I'm one to hurt and bleed inside when I see trees being cut down or marked, ready to cut down. Like, I can't deal with it because I am connected to Gaia so severely, it drives me insane. So when I see like people cutting down trees to build homes, I literally want to drive my car over them. I become dark. I feel protective of my mother. I feel protective of my goddess. And when people are throwing garbage on the floor or things like that, I get in warrior mode. Like, I'm meant to be her protector. And I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. There's a lot of you out here on my page that feel the exact same way. So why don't we do something about it, huh? Why don't we save the goddess that we're walking on, that gives us natural medicine, natural air, natural water, natural food? We got this. And we got to remember that. It's our job. This is an amazing job. Even though we don't get paid for it, we ain't living in mansions and having Bugattis and stuff. Our soul is wealthy. It's wealthy in a different way. Because we know that all of this is illusion, but the soul is continuing to grow its wealth. Okay? So that's what's more important. Because you know what? There are people out here that sell their soul for fame. Like Hollywood, most of Hollywood. But you only live to be 100 years old. Your soul is forever. I don't think I want to be rich and like having a good 100 years when I can have infinity years, limitless years as a soul being wealthy. So do what the soul needs you to do, because it's not only telling you what to do to help you, it's telling you what to do to help you survive in this crazy chaotic vibration that this human species is acting upon. Okay? Because these vibrations, the dark and light spectrum right now, are manipulating a lot of things on the earth right now. And if you want to believe it or not, it's true. Like when we have like drastic weather and shit like that, that has a lot to do with other beings. You know? And we're having a geomagnetic storm, March 18th. So GPSs might mess up, electronics are going to mess up, sensitives are going to have headaches, fibro is going to be on 1,000, arthritis on 1,000, sleepless night. Okay, you're going to have a chaotic sleep, animals are going to be weird. We might actually have our power out. That's how bad it can get. So keep an eye on the vibrations throughout the days. Continue to sage. I just bought like 10 bundles of, let me show y'all what I bought. Of course, I always give half of whatever I buy to Kendra for theirs. But this is cedarwood, lemongrass, and sage. You got to be prepared. Always be prepared that, because you never know. You never know. We can always try to predict what frequency is going to be, but it can always shift the way it wants to shift. And we always got to have our stuff to keep us zen, to keep us grounded, shielded, protected. We have to protect ourselves more than the average person. Okay? We do. Because we become the frequencies that we try to protect ourselves from. If we're around negative people, we become negative. Empaths don't just feel others' emotions. A lot of times they can become the emotion. Especially if they're very, very severe. Severe empaths. Okay? Is that why others can make us feel broken? Yes, because a lot of times they don't want to feel the pain alone. So they try to make other people feel that pain that they're feeling. And do it the wrong way. They do it in a selfish, greedy way to do it. It's like, well, I'm hurting, so I'm going to hurt other people. And a lot of people have a reaction like that. Like, like I said, when women are constantly getting hurt by men, they become bitter to men. And then they'll get a good boy, a good man, and destroy him to bits because she was destroyed into bits by men. So there's always a chain reaction or a deeper picture to why people are the way they are or why they're behaving the way they behave. And we got to remember that. We have to have that empathy for our own species, even if they're not having empathy for us. And I know a lot of times you feel like you're shortchanged. I'm the same way. I literally have depression because I'm consistently shortchanged. Or I get the short end of the stick, or, something like that. But we got to remember what's more important. Is it really more important to get what you're giving on a physical plane? Or is it more important to get what you're giving on a cosmic plane? That's the point we got to remember. If people don't give us what we give them, the universe got us. The universe will give you what you're giving people. Good karma. You know what I mean? Things like that. That shit's important. Karma is all day, every day. And if you're serving people who don't serve you back, there's no reason to get caught up in your emotions because in the bigger picture of things, your universe is already getting your back. People like me got instant karma. Meaning, if you do something to me, within a few minutes, you get your karma already. That's because I make sure my vibrations are always in a certain pattern. I've already learned how to work my energy with the universe. Everybody needs to learn their pattern. What is your pattern? What is your emotional pattern? When are you mostly getting depression? Is it day or is it night? This is stuff that we need to know. We need to know ourselves inside and out. Soul and body and mind. Because they all three work together. It's like a burger. Burger don't taste good without no cheese, right? Without no cheese, no onions. You are a bunch of ingredients that are needed. And when one ingredient is missing, you're not the same being that you are created to be, that you're meant to be. Every ingredient is useful in your creation, in your being. And you got to remember that. Okay? Like I said, every negative has a positive, every positive has a negative. It depends how you want to handle things. But you got to remember too, to every decision is a consequence. To every choice, there is a punishment or a consequence. To every cause, there's an effect. Okay? That's just how energy works. So whatever choices you make, try and remember what the outcome could be. If you do this, this is how it's going to end up. If you don't do this, this is how it's going to end up. Which one would you prefer to deal with on a spiritual level, on a conscious level? Observe. Listen more. Speak less. You'll learn more that way. You'll learn why someone is being that way. A lot of times, they'll even break down and just tell you after they've been like shitty to you. So everybody has a trigger or a root problem that caused them to behave the way they do. It's not always their fault. Sometimes that's the way the universe designed their life for them specifically, and you're just caught up in it. That's it. But I love you guys. If you guys need a message, because today Anya is really strong. That's why I'm wearing the black lipstick. She likes the whole dark look, so that's why I look dark. But just comment in this video what it is you need a message for. Love, money, success, health, fertility, anything. And I will tell you what the message is. Okay, if you want services, my link is somewhere either below or above. And all you got to do is click the book now. My services is there. You can see prices. I'm also doing now where I do picture readings in certain posts that I post. And you can post a picture of yourself. And when I give you your message, I can actually give you the whole reading in a paragraph form. And if you choose to, of course, giving and receiving, you can put a donation of whatever you can afford or whatever you feel is right for the reading that you received. So I've been doing that lately too. I do have prices if you want specific sessions where I spend 45 minutes to an hour strictly on your energy, nobody else. Okay? Those have prices. But if you just want an overall message under your picture, I will post something today explaining that reading. And I would write the message. If you want it in private, when you post your picture, write DM on top of it, which means direct message, DM. And then what I'll do is I'll message you your reading if you want it more on a private basis. And after all that is said and done, you can just donate whatever you want. Once you press the book now, it sends you straight to my PayPal, and you can send whatever you please, okay? And, yeah, I'm on a roll today. So, there's days I'm not on a roll, there's days I'm on a roll, and today I'm on a roll. Right now, I feel like your money is going to be adjusted within 6 months. It's going to be enhanced, and I also sense that there's going to be an opportunity around between August to October. Either a new job, a new opportunity, maybe 2 jobs. Maybe you already have a job and you're going to get another job, or there's going to be an enhancement in your money towards the end of the year. But I love you guys, and if you want deeper in that, Reina, you can always DM me, and I always make time for you guys, especially you guys that are natives to me since the beginning. A lot of you have been with me for years, so you guys are my family. And my kids get home at 3:30, which is in 30 minutes, but I can still message you guys and help you guys. You need advice with spell work, magic, whatever it is. As a seer, I can help you with anything, okay? Anything. The only thing I gotta admit I'm not good with is birth charts. That shit just looks like a bunch of colors and symbols to me. And tarot cards. I could do Oracle, but I can't do tarot. But I don't need the tools anyway. Some people like to use them, so I use them. But a lot of times I just go straight to the message. Head, straight out of mouth. I don't even think about it. I don't even remember what I just told Reina. That's just how a seer is. We say, we get it, we say, and then we forget it. That's just how it goes. So a lot of what we say it has to be marinated or recorded or written or something, because if you try to ask us about it later, we're going to be like, huh? What are you talking about? You know what I mean? That's the struggle of being gifted also. With every gift comes a consequence. And we got to remember that. And also, number 1 rule for cosmic path, spiritualists, witches believe in it too. When you have your abilities, it is not okay to only use them for self-gain. You have gifts. You are chosen to help others in your species, not just yourself. Okay? So that personal gain stuff, it will catch up to you with karma. And the Council of 12 will punish you for it. Let me tell you. So I love you guys. I'll probably be on later. I'm going to probably burn some cedar wood right now. And stay grounded, stay shielded today. And remember to observe your species today. If someone's trying to start or put you in a situation, observe it. Listen more than you speak. No reason to get with emotion. If you're starting to feel the emotion behind it, pull yourself away for a moment so you can think logic and solve the situation in boss mentality. Okay? I love you guys. Stay awesome, stay woke, stay grounded, stay shielded, stay protected. Okay? One love.